I've turned on the propane. I'm turning on my oxygen slowly. That's the flame. Does everyone see that? It's not huge. I can turn it up a little more. Just I get the always turn. And how am I holding it? Parallel to the table. This is real important. I don't want to get it super hot. What I'm doing is I'm getting it hot enough so the glass will stick, and I'm getting it hot enough that any moisture is gone. Because if you have moisture in your bead release, it will make your glass bubble. So that's one. Sometimes just I eat something. Now usually I would trim off. You see how it's scummy on one end? Usually I take my nose and nip off. That's sorry, I don't have the scummy, but I'm just gonna. So I've got this warm, and now I can hold it below, and dancing this in from the top, and I'm going to make the sort of neck of the bottom. So I work from, build up some glass. I don't need a big blob. I'm going to trail it on. I touch it on, and I just turn away from you, always turning away from you. My glass, because that's the thing, it just works better than the heat. As I turn, the glass is in the flame, and the pipe is below the flame. And I just go like through this, and it cuts it off. So now I'm going to get this collar. Now, some people put it on really easy one, so I kind of slap it on. Now I'm going to use my marker. You can use this marker, or I like to hold this marker like this and just hold it on there and make my collar. Try to make it as even as possible. It's what's important on the. Notice I've left. So this is the collar, the neck of the collar. You don't want it too thin. It's going to crack away, but you don't want it super thick either. So now I make sure it's going on my back end, but just refine it again. When you use a marker on it, you'll get chill marks, so you want to go back in and sort of clean it off. So it feels pretty good to me. Put that down. Now I'm going to take my rod again, and I'm going to build up a glob on here, but I'm going to build it up hollow like you're making a foil pot. So I start getting this hot. I'm keeping this warm by just being below the flame. Every once in a while going at the top of the flame. I don't want to get it super hot or it'll fall apart. I start here, I touch on that edge, and I start trailing on the glass. These are my coils, like a coil pot. Now remember, with this torch setup, you're not going to make it super big. I'm just coiling it on, slightly overlapping. Every once in a while I'll go back in there and make sure that the neck is not getting ice cold, because it can start cracking. I'm going to take off the rest so you can see. You can see what I'm doing. See the old. I'm just coiling it on. So the glass that it's touching to has to be warm enough. And the glass, but mainly the glass is in the flame, and the pipe and glass is below the flame. But every once in a while I'm going to stop and just come up here and give it some heat to make sure it doesn't crack apart. Trying to go more and more towards the center so that I get a little bubble. You can conceivably just add a big glob of glass on the end and blow it out, but it's pretty hard to do. It's easier if you've got a little stud. Now I've gotten to the end, so I've kind of smeared it over there. See how I've gotten there? But there is a small bubble in there. Going to heat it again. You can't let it get too You can't let it get too cold. So, but I'm warming it up, way up at the top, like that. This is the warming place. This is the working spot. This is the really melting spot. But that's at least an inch away from the glass. Now I like to add a lot more. Just adding on. Now that I've got it enclosed, I add more to the outside, just so I have enough to blow. So I'm just adding. I would say you use almost the whole rod. Would be, because look, I've used more than half. I won't make it too much bigger, but I mean I do make bigger ones sometimes. Now see, there's a little bubble there. If it's close to the surface, you could just heat it into a pot. You can also take your tweezers and just squash it. And usually that will happen. Or you could just keep heating it and hope it goes away. So now, I thought, well, that's what I need. I have at home, I have a little like block-shaped graphite. So I just put it in there and shape it. So this is going to be a little harder. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just shaping it. I'm using and you want to fool the juncture between the neck. Here, I'm just doing that, and I'm just shaping it up. But I do like my little double mold. I have a gigantic one of these that has about, on both sides it has 100. But you can use this, so I can look and go, oh, well, this is about the same size. And I can go in here and sort of mark it like this. Okay. So, okay. Now I'm going to try and blow it. It needs to be pretty hot. Notice where I'm working. I'm not working down at the bottom. I'm working here. And as long as you keep it parallel to the table, it's going to stay on center. If you hold it like this, it's going to change. If you hold it like this, it's going to change. If you hold it like, you have to really be aware. And notice, I never stop turning it. It's just like at the furnace. You never stop turning. You don't even think about it. You're just always turning. Okay, so I feel like it might be ready. A lot of times I like to just throw it in here just to make sure that the bottom is a little chilled. If you chill the bottom a little bit, it won't blow out as readily. Okay, so now I feel like I think I'm ready. Now, you don't just blow as hard as you can because so I'm turning it, I'm looking right down the pipe, and I'm going to blow. See how I blocked the air in with my tongue? Not much happened there. Okay, sometimes cap and blow. You've got to cap with your tongue. So take a nice big puff. I'm going to do what I'm doing now. A little bit happened. It started. It'll be embarrassing if I can't do it. Some people do. They blow it, holding it down and touching the piece of graphite. So I could try that, but I like to get it roundish, and so I like to blow it. But sometimes I do have to go back and forth a bunch of times to get it out of me. Okay, I blew it out and it looks terrible. Now, you can save this. You go back in the flame and heat the whole thing down again and try again. That's what's so much that you don't do at the hot shop. You're not going to do that, but But sometimes you might. Just look at it. Okay, so you start blowing gently and then you gradually blow it out. So. Okay, and I'm looking down the pipe. Okay, so now I'm trying to get it on center. So what Amina was saying is, I have seen people do this. They go. That way their bottom doesn't blow out. Okay?
Oh.
So a little tip, Margaret, you can do that. Okay. But now it is a little harder thing. So I could blow it more, but I think I'm going to now do some decoration. You can do decoration before you blow it out. And then that's kind of cool. Or you can do, what I'm going to do is add a collar around the neck. So I like using these thinner ones to do that. And that's so you're going to heat this. They haven't. I'm doing right. So I'm just going around and you're trying to wrap. I'm doing a little lip wrap. Exactly. And this is a great tool in the box.
So this will be the top of it. Yep.
Yeah, this is the top of the box. And so now I'm going to just, but every once in a while I got to go up here and make sure this guy is happy. You cannot just concentrating on something and think it's, you've got to go back and make sure you can do it. But I do like a collar on it. You don't need to have a lip wrap, but it just finishes it nice. And now I'm going to put little handles on it. So the secret to handles is I'm going to decide where I'm going to put one handle. I'm going to put a little dot, and then I'm going to go down here on the body and make a dot. Those are my two where the handle's going to attach. And then you can sort of look and then make sure that it's that's too much. Just take a little bit off. And then try and line it up. Okay, so now I have these two spots where my handle's going to go. So what I like to do then, heat that up a little. I like to go from the bottom, but other people go from the top. And just get a nice cloth, take it out of the heat, count to 3, 1, 2, 3, put it on here, and there you've got your little handle. And then you should have a poking tool, which I don't. Is there anything pointed in there? Yeah, this will probably work, this chopstick. And just, you can go in there and manipulate, find something that's a sharper thing that you can go in there and adjust it. You can take your tweezers and adjust it and play around. But then I go back and I make everybody happy, keep everything warm. And now I'm going to put a handle on the other side. Okay, and now you've got something that's relatively similar. And where did I put that cookie tool? Right there. Thanks. I have a million tools on my workbench. I'm always going,
Seems like you could never have enough tools for this.
I know, but then you can't find the one that you can remember them. So there you go. So here's my little bottle. I'm giving it a lot of love all the way around. See?
Oh, that's so cute. It's so pretty.
Yeah. Now, I just want to even out the temperature. So I'm just going up at the top of the flame and just getting everything warm but not hot. Now, if I wanted this, another thing that people do is they'll heat the whole thing up and take a warm this and pull this out to make it more pointed, which you can do. If you wanted one that sits up, I have a little bit of tiny measuring spoons, and I'll put one down there and then I'll just push it on there and I'll get them pushed in things that will stand up. Shall I pull it out? Or
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to try. I am bad at this. So you need this glass to be warm but not hot, and you need this to be hot.
So you're using that as a punty?
What? Not a punty, but a pull. It's like a punty. I'm gonna just. I never get it in the center, and then I can just pull this out and change the shape.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah.
It's like a Greek amphora.
Right. Okay, and then it should just knock off, but I always give it to you. Okay, now it's a little weird. Let's see if I can give it a little. There we go. It's not bad. It's not
If you wanted
wonderful.
it to stand up, you could now then
Yeah.
flatten it a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I can marble it a little bit. Okay, and now I'm going to put, because it needs a little turquoise, I'm going to give it a little ball on the bottom for a little decoration. But don't forget, every once in a while you got to get up here and keep all this stuff warm and comfortable. Okay.
The bubble that you're making to begin with is going to have an unfinished opening. We teach you how to transfer and you still
Okay.
learn how to put it
But
on.
notice the important thing is that you just keep it warm all the time and work in the right spot. You've got to work higher up in the flame. Okay? So now I think it's done. I want to make sure it's pretty evenly heated.